What's happening, YouTube? What's happening? So, this one is going to be an installment of the most overrated NBA coaches. And this one is Lenny Wilkins versus Doc Rivers. This one was tough for me because I didn't see them both. Ironically, both were guards, both played in the league, except Lenny Wilkins had a better overall career. He was considered one of the 50 greatest basketball players and one of the greatest NBA coaches ever. So, this is double tough because when I think, you know, Lenny Wilkins, I remember what he did with the Sonics when he went to back finals. He won one, lost one to Washington. But when he fell out with Dennis Johnson and they traded Dennis Johnson, the Sonics weren't quite the same. They did bring him back, but he ended up going to Atlanta. He had two conference finals situations, but that's all he had considering all those wins. He had won 1,332 games, but lost 1,155. And so while we romanticize his success, especially for being a black head coach going to the finals and everything, he didn't quite dominate all things considered, but he did win. But it's going to be very interesting because then I'm going to put him up against another guy who had success but has underachieved quite a bit. But Lenny Wilkins was a coach that, uh, was very distinctive. Was somebody that I definitely respected. I remember when he was in Atlanta with Mookie Blaylock and them, and again, he had success and everything, and I always kind of liked what he did, but it just didn't quite. You sometimes you romanticize something because you tend to get into it like, oh, this guy was doing this and then the other, but it didn't quite go out like that, and so that's one of those things that we kind of like. We have to look at the totality of the reality. So sometimes you get caught up in the moments and you're thinking that something is like this and it's not quite the way it was. So anyway, that's how I was looking at Lenny. But when we get to Doc Rivers, he won in Boston, won one, lost one. Had a great situation there, you know, um, with Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, Rondo. Then eventually he moved on. Now before that was with Orlando, which I try not to really hold it against him, even though I do want to, because he wouldn't let Tim Duncan bring his family on the planes, and he said that's why Duncan wanted to turn down. And I said, man, did you realize what Tim Duncan was going to turn out to be? And he had already won a ring, so I don't know what Doc Rivers was thinking on and tripping on. Then you fast forward to his, collapses with the Clippers, known as Mister 3-1, who always blow 3-1 leads, Mister 3-1. And, with the Clippers, it just was blown. And then with the Sixers, and now with the Milwaukee Bucks. And so you ask me out these two, they got the same situation as far as win loss in the finals. Lenny Wilkins has got more wins, but asking me who's more overrated of the two, I got to say Doc Rivers. More people are going to come and run at you and say Doc Rivers is the most overrated because he's had great players and situations and he does not deliver. That has been the knock against him. Boston aside, couldn't do much with Orlando. Definitely didn't do it in with the LA Clippers. Didn't do it with Philadelphia. So, just one of those things where you kind of are like a cat that you just kind of like, I don't think it's ever going to get any better. But it's not like this ain't kind of a close one because Lenny Wilkins did lose a lot of games, and both of them are hurting in the postseason. The postseason is the one that is your measuring stick. So, but anyway, let me know who you think is the more overrated head coach out of Lenny Wilkins and Doc Rivers. Please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share if you like and hit that membership because when you do requests like this come true, stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out. Peace.